minutes are on the clock and straight out of We Studios. This is a 90s Percentile Mini. My name is Jack.
My name is Dan, and we're talking everything 90s and maybe also everything before and after. But today, Jack, what are we talking about?
We're talking about something very specific and something very sad. The Prince, the death of Prince, specifically.
The death of Prince, yes.
The
By the
Prince.
Way, his name is actually Prince.
Yeah, I found that out today, too.
Not a pseudonym. His real name was Prince Roger Nilsson, which sounds like some old British man.
It sounds like a yeah, I guess so. No, it sounds like just a regular guy from Minnesota, which I also realized reading about him today is that he pretty much was just a regular guy from Minnesota.
Yeah, he
died in his home in Minnesota. He had a box at the Vikings stadium. He was just
he loved Minnesota.
Like he's obviously one of the greatest musicians of all time. I don't know if you know this, but he was worth some money.
Yes, he was.
He could basically live anywhere he wanted. He could have lived in the Caribbean. He could live in the Bahamas. Somewhere warm with beaches and water. He chose Minnesota, where there's like 10 feet of snow outside his door. In June.
And he was only like 5 feet tall. So if there's 10 feet of snow, he is not able to see.
So yeah, he was a hometown guy. So that's really sad. Now you might have noticed we're talking about what we've read about him today. And a lot of people probably did know his name was actually Prince. Our point being that we're not huge Prince fans.
No, I know very little. I know next to nothing about Prince, to be honest with you. The only things I know are the Batman soundtrack, which I'm sure we're going to talk about in a minute. The Dave Chappelle skit. And he was on an episode of New Girl a few years ago. I saw that one. And,
I know he had a thing against the internet, although in that one Simpsons episode...
He sued a baby. I know that.
He sued a baby?
You didn't know about this?
No.
Yeah, somebody uploaded a photo of their kid dancing to, I want to say it was Purple Rain, but maybe it was another Prince song. And, it got... Big media companies have these programs that trawl through YouTube for song bites, sound bites of the songs, and then automatically send cease and desists. So they sent one, and they argued, it needs to be up. It's playing in the background on the radio, and they were like, no, you have to take it down.
Oh, wow.
And it turned into a big thing. I think eventually it got put back up on YouTube.
Okay.
But.
Well, that's a whole complicated thing that we can talk about some other time.
All right, so some other time we're definitely going to talk about
because he's dead, it's sad. We'll try not to...
We'll focus on the positives.
Well, here's why we're doing this, because like we said, we don't know. We're not huge fans of his. Right. I love what I hear. I'm just not a big music fan. And again, like you said, I don't really know that much of his work.
Now, is What I Hear a Prince song? I'm not sure. You said
I don't know. From what I hear, that
was an album then. Okay. What I hear from the album, What I Hear.
From what I hear, apparently, his back catalog, the non-big hits, like I know Purple Rain, I know When Doves Cry. They're really, they're apparently his he was a really good complex musician. He wasn't just like a pop star.
Right. Well, I do know I didn't listen to very many of his albums. Yeah, and he had that crazy guitar that was the shape of the artist symbol that he had.
A lot of people don't realize that he was the guy in Mad Max Fury Road.
He was the flaming guitar guy.
No, I'm saying he was Charlize Theron.
He was. Well, he did famousely lose his hand.
He lost his arm, and he shaved his head, and George Miller was like, "That's exactly what I'm looking for.
That's what we need.
We need you to play Charlize Theron playing
Prince is going to be in the Mad Max Fury Road, eh?" That's what George Miller sounds. He's Australian.
Of course. Yeah. So that cymbal guitar. This is why we're doing a 90s Percentile Mini. This basically we want to look. You're going to see so many think pieces and essays and videos about Prince in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
We wanted to give a perspective that's probably won't be covered. What is Prince to people from the 90s who didn't grow up with him and aren't huge fans? There's definitely people our age who are huge fans, but me and you are not the biggest music buffs. We put more of our attention into movies and comics. And
because we're super cool guys
exactly.
who host a podcast.
Music is for nerds.
Yeah.
Podcast is for jocks.
Jock.com.
So we wanted to give a unique perspective, or not that unique, but we might as well speak for the 90s since that's what we do here.
That's what we are.
Who is 90s Prince? What was Prince kind of after Purple Rain? Which I think Purple Rain might have been the number one song when I was born.
Oh
no! Time After Time was, but Purple Rain was huge.
Let's just talk about Cyndi Lauper then.
Let's just talk about
Time After Time.
So
the
two biggest things I think in terms of Prince is the fact that he changed his name to the artist formerly known as Prince, and then changed his name again to just a symbol with no words.
Correct.
That was very 90s. It was very 90s to make jokes like the artist formerly known as blank. I can't think of any at the top of my head.
Well, I remember this is a wrestling thing, and I'm going to talk something else about wrestling later, but we'll get there. In WCW in the 90s, they had a wrestler whose name was Prince Iakea, and after all this Prince stuff happened, he was turned into, I think it was...
The wrestler formerly known as?
No, I think he was the artist formerly known as Prince Iakea, LOL. Not literally with the LOL. I'm adding that. And then he was just the artist, I think.
He should have just changed his name to a fist,
Yeah.
like the symbol of a fist.
But do you know why he actually did that, Prince? Why he changed
was
his
it
name to the artist?
Something to do with copyright issues?
It was Prince was a very litigious person.
Oh, was it so that he could make new music and not be under the constraints of his previous recording
He was under
label?
a very tight recording contract with, I think, Warner Music, and he wanted to get out of that, and it was kind of a symbolic gesture, like, I'm not Prince, I'm the artist formerly known as Prince, because Prince is, this corporate symbol, and like, man, I'm a musician, bro.
Very, very 90s.
Very 90s, it is. It was around
Yeah.
the same time Pearl Jam was boycotting Ticketmaster, which eventually they caved. They all caved to Ticketmaster.
Yeah, I mean, they want people to see their shows.
Yeah, that's right. Suck it, Eddie Vedder.
Oh, so that's why he changed his name. So he
Yes.
could have changed it to anything. He could have done P. Diddy. That hadn't been taken
It
yet.
could have been Diddy Dirty Money.
He could have been
years
Diddy.
before.
That hadn't been taken
No,
yet.
it hadn't.
He could have been
Snoop
Eminem.
Lion. Snoop Lion wasn't taken.
He could have just been Eminem. There was no
Yeah, it
Eminem
could
yet.
have been Eminem.
Or he could have been M&M and just maybe, like
He could have sold candies.
This is our second mini episode about a dead celebrity where we randomly bring up M&Ms.
Well, we'd like to think about Eminem's minis. And
It's
also, all of our
consoling.
mini-sodes are about dead celebrities. So that's something that's fun.
Yeah. One of these days we'll do a happy mini episode.
one of these days.
Like Cyndi Lauper gets married. If Cyndi
There you
Lauper
go.
gets married, we will do a 90s percentile mini.
You got it. You
If
heard
she,
it here,
if she
folks.
dies, we're also going to do one.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely,
And if
but-
it happens at the same day, we're only doing one. We can't do two. We don't
What
have
if,
the time.
what if she has some sort of marriage/suicide?
Oh my goodness! She joins a cult and it's a
Yeah,
mass
that's
murder.
exactly
It's a
what it
mass marriage, mass
That's
suicide.
what it is. So look forward to that
And if they
episode.
drink Kool-Aid, we can put that in the 90s
Oh,
percentile.
yeah.
And if they're wearing Keds,
Yeah,
get
really.
all the 90s stuff.
That's, you know what? That was a very 90s cult suicide attempt.
Do you think when when what was it, the Kale Bop comment? What was the name of that cult?
I don't remember what their name was.
Did they drink?
the
They
guy
drank
was something
poison
with a
Kool-Aid
K.
too. I know the Jim
That was
Jones.
that was Jonestown. Yeah, the Jonestown massacre.
Did he?
No, but I think they might have been the ones wearing the Keds and the
Because I was gonna
jumpsuits.
say, like, do you think there was a fight over what to drink the poison in? Like, do you think, especially if it was in the 90s, do you think someone was like, let's do Crystal Pepsi, let's do Zima?
Heaven's Gate was the name of the
Heaven's
cult. I
Gate,
just
that's
looked it up. And yeah, I think they probably had a long,
if you were
robust
in a mass
conversation about
cult
it.
and you had to kill yourself with 1,000 other people,
You assume that I'm not already. But
what would you
continue.
drink, or what are you going to drink? What's your
I
poison?
might
But
enjoy-
literally, what's your poison?
I might enjoy a little Dr. Pepper at the end. At
Really?
the end of the
Dr.
road.
Pepper?
You know, we put some. It's got 23 great flavors.
Yeah,
All right, and it's a
okay.
mystery what is in there. You put 24
one of them might be poison.
Put cyanide in
is
there.
the
Yeah.
24.
There you go.
What would I pick? I guess Bud Light Lime.
there you
It's
go.
killing me already because I drink 4 or 5 a day after a hard day at work.
Yeah, you're
5,
peeing,
6 days a
you're
week.
peeing
So
green now because of all the
I am
lime.
peeing green. So maybe it's just gonna kill me anyway.
I think it might be because you're not supposed to be peeing green, Jack. I don't know if you knew that.
Okay, so yeah, the big thing is about 90s was the artist formerly known as blank jokes. That
Yeah,
was
right.
a lot of people really like to make fun of him for that.
Yeah.
I guess because it was kind of weird.
Well, I feel like Prince was a pretty easy punching bag for jokes because he was a very small, frail man who was very androgynous
Yeah.
and kind of sexually ambiguous.
He was kind of like the next
dressed like a
generation
little-
David Bowie.
Yeah, he dressed like a little lord.
Lord, Prince. No, I mean, not to
Yeah.
compare David Bowie just because he also died recently
Right.
and it was shocking.
Yeah.
But I guess when you said androgynous,
Right.
David Bowie popped in my head. And you're
Definitely.
right. There was something where sexuality was such a key part of his music, but it was
Definitely.
also not overt like the sexuality we know. It was like a weirder kind of broader, cooler sexuality.
It was, and we're not Prince fans, so neither of us would know this. So I don't know why I'm asking you. Did he and Bowie ever collaborate at all? Because I
I
feel
don't know.
like that's a natural.
I
pairing.
saw this really. I was
They're
playing
paired in
some
death,
I
unfortunately.
was playing some YouTube videos of Prince today
Yeah.
after I found out, and one of them was a live performance where he's with a bunch of other artists doing. My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yes,
and
from
he,
2004.
and he was playing guitar.
Yeah, I know
and
that
It
one.
was so good. So he definitely had, from what I looked at on this YouTube playlist, ironically, sorry, Prince, I know you hated that, but I didn't have anything else.
He did, and now the pirates are going to just flood YouTube with his music. So
But they're raising a purple
Good job.
flag By the way, we looked at Google just now, and Google had a Purple Rain logo. That was cool.
It was the Google logo, but Purple Rain was hitting it. It was cool.
No, so it looked like he was totally cool with collaborating. I mean, the New Girl thing you mentioned, that was him. He initiated that. He liked the show.
He was just a big fan of New Girl, which at that point most of the world had moved on from New Girl, but that's besides the point. And the episode was actually really good. Basically, Jess, Zooey Deschanel's character, and Nick, who is, I can't think of his name right now, his character.
I don't know.
He was in Jurassic World. It's
care.
really annoying me. But anyway, they like go to a party at his house and they play ping pong against
And
him.
he just shows up.
It's a cute one.
So
Look it up on Hulu.
So he's like, it's weird. He's uptight. He's litigious. He's secretive. He's strict about stuff, but he also seemed really playful and fun.
He did,
It's
because-
almost as if he wasn't a flat, two-dimensional character, but a real human being who made music.
He was a fully formed character. He had many characteristics about him. But before you said you were watching a YouTube playlist of Prince's, I guess, his greatest works or whatever, greatest performances, I have to guess, Jack, that one of them, was it 1989's Bat Dance music video?
So here's the thing.
Did you listen to the Bat Dance?
I didn't listen to that.
Oh,
and I
you missed
actually
out.
don't know Bat Dance that well
Right.
because is that not in the movie?
It is I believe it plays over the closing credits.
If you don't know what we're talking about, Batman '89, the Tim Burton Keaton movie, Prince did 3 or 4 pop songs on the soundtrack.
He did a lot of.
I mean, Danny
a lot
Elfman
of
did the
songs.
score.
Danny Elfman did the score. I
But-
think he did all the non-score music.
Yeah. He's not in the movie.
No.
But the 2 big scenes are where Joker defaces all the art in the museum.
Right.
That
The
was
timeless hit Party Man. Yeah.
Party Man. Oh, hell. New king in town. Don't play anything else. Prince will sue us from beyond
You're
the
right.
grave.
You're right. He will.
And I send his ghost lawyers.
No, you don't want to mess with a ghost lawyer. They will haunt you until you are dead.
Boo! I object.
I object. I guess they're vampires. I don't know.
That's some vampire lawyers.
But we're saying we're not really big Prince fans. I think Party Man is probably the song both of us have listened to the most out of Prince's entire discography.
And then especially ones like Napster came around and I could actually download it and play it on Winamp and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the other one is when the parade scene with Joker giving out the money. That was...
I can't remember that one.
Oh God! It wasn't Bat Dance.
It was not Bat Dance. It was something else. Maybe we mentioned in our
Trust.
Batman Sync.
Trust.
Yeah. Right.
Trust. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's actually the most I know Prince is from Batman.
It's from Batman, yeah. Well, Bat Dance, just because you're not familiar with it as much as I might be, I think it plays over the end credits, and it's nothing but clips from the movie. I don't even know if there's actual Prince lyrics. I think it's just clips of the Batman movie remixed together.
I was about to say, wait, didn't Prince have his hair in the shape of the Batman ears? But then I remembered that's Static X.
No. He's also dead.
He also dead.
Wayne Static
don't
dead.
Don't make a Batman soundtrack song, or you might die prematurely. We're looking at you, you two. You might be next. Or Seal.
Poor Seal.
Seal's face was normal before he made made Batman Forever song.
Kiss from a Rose.
And then he was in a horrible accident.
Yeah, I just want to go back and explain the Static X thing.
Okay.
There was a song to the Batman Beyond movie that it was something Odyssey. It was Wayne
Mephisto
Static.
Odyssey.
Mephisto Odyssey, yeah. And the guy from Static X, and there's a video on it that was on the DVD for this movie where he had long hair that went straight up, and in this video it was bat ears.
It was in the shape of a cow. Yeah.
I highly recommend looking it up.
It was a
on
really
YouTube.
cool hairdo, to be honest.
Well, it worked for him. It wouldn't work for me, and it didn't when I tried it.
So I'm looking up this Prince Bat Dance video. It looks like Prince is in it.
Okay.
Now, Bat Dance is a really funny name because it's funny that they did this. I mean, I get that Prince was a popular artist in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I get that like his music was really cool and hip. But this term, the sound, the name Bat Dance makes me think of like the Batusi and all that.
Right,
and
60s Batman,
and the movie
for
was
sure.
really trying hard to get away from that. They were trying to distance themselves. So it's really interesting that they were totally cool with doing a really like corny Bat Dance video. Like I'm watching the video now and it is corny.
Well, they were not
although
only
it is
cool
the
with
80s.
it.
Yeah.
They were not only cool with it. The studio pushed it. Like it was a single. This was a hit on the radio.
This is a real video. This is an actual music video with like in the Bat Cave.
I've never seen this actually.
I doubt it, but that would be kind of amazing if Michael Keaton is in the bat suit. Oh, Prince is dressed as Joker. That's very
pretty
cool. And he kind of Two-Face too, right?
Yeah.
Like half white, half purple.
All right. Oh, this is bad for our
Actually,
our audio
Two-Face makes
podcast.
much more sense because he is half purple.
Right. That's true. Good point,
All
Jack.
right, so we're running out of time here. We just wanted to say, we didn't want to devote too much time because we'll let the Prince experts talk about Prince.
Yeah, I mean, it was a sad day for music fans for sure. He was only 56. He was very, very young.
Yeah, I think he was pretty much the same age as Michael Jackson, right? Michael Jackson was
50
when he died.
I think.
No, he's 50.
Oh, he was 50?
Yeah.
So you're saying they were born in the same year?
They were born
I
in the same
see.
year, and so was Madonna. I think they're all if not at the same year, within like the same.
If I'm Madonna, I'm going to the doctor today.
Yeah,
Just getting checked out.
she's
Clearing out the cobwebs.
No, I'm not gonna tell the audience where you physically just motioned where the cobwebs might be.
in her brain. She's so absent-minded.
Of course. So when Michael Jackson died, that was a huge deal too, and they were always mentioned in the same breath in 83, 84.
Right.
Because they were just the two kings of pop.
Yeah.
Well, he was the prince and he was the king.
There you go.
And
now the kings of Leon have taken over.
Right before Michael Jackson had died, Farrah Fawcett had died.
Yes, and Michael Jackson
and that headline
usurped all of
that
her.
headline got buried. Although
Yeah.
she was dying for a while, she had cancer. There was a whole special and everything. Very
Yeah.
sad. But the Farrah Fawcett to Prince's Michael Jackson would be China. And
WWE superstar China, who also passed away today, very suddenly. I woke up this morning at 2:45 in the morning. Because it doesn't matter why I woke up.
it's not because China died.
No, it was not because China died, but
It wasn't
I
like
woke up.
China's ghost lawyers came and woke you up. We need you for the contract.
Help us.
Help? Are they from Liverpool?
Yes.
They're Liverpoolian?
I thought that was understood. No, I was up and I happened to check the news and I saw that China had died and I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. She was very young. She was only 45. And
that's sad.
she had a lot of problems in the past 10 or so years.
Yeah, she couldn't. She spelled her name wrong.
That was the biggest problem that she had.
That's what you're talking about,
Yeah,
right?
that's what it
No,
was
I mean,
not the drugs
I
and
assume
substance
it's
abuse.
something drugs and substance abuse. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's sad.
so she, if you're not familiar with China, she was a female wrestler in the WWF, now the WWE, and she was kind of like broke the mold of what a female wrestler could be. And it's ironic because today WWE has made great strides in their female wrestling, and now they're actually
Have they?
They have very recently they got rid of the term divas that they had usually used, and now they're just regular.
They should have Elizabeth
superstars.
Warren come out for the next WrestleMania and just like beat down Hojo. Is that a wrestler?
Yep, the famous wrestler Hojo.
I really don't know.
Get ready, you're getting a beat down from Elizabeth Warren. That's WrestleMania 34. That'll be next year. But no, she had a lot of drug problems and was an adult film actress. So WWE had kind of...
For a second, I thought you were still talking about Elizabeth Warren.
I am.
I was just
You
like,
didn't know that?
I was like, she what? Oh, never mind. That's not... That can't be right.
Well, anyway, China's cause of death, and I don't think Prince's cause of death have been revealed publicly.
No, but
so we don't know.
last week his plane...
He was ill, I know.
yeah, and I don't know. This was a rumor some guy at work was talking about. So I have
So
no
it's
idea this is
definitely
true.
100%
But
true.
supposedly his religious beliefs, according to this one guy, his religious beliefs was one of those where they were not crazy about medicine and stuff. It was more like, God will heal me if he wants me to be okay.
Right.
I feel like I would have heard more about that if that was true, but
I believe Prince was a Jehovah's Witness.
Was he?
I think in 2001 he converted to be a Jehovah's Witness.
Wow.
And I don't know that they like medicine, or maybe I'm thinking of Christian Scientists. I don't know.
That's what the guy at work was saying. Christian
Jehovah's
Scientists,
Witnesses
but-
don't celebrate birthdays and holidays. That's essentially all I know about them.
I mean, Jehovah's Witnesses and anybody over the age of 30. It's like whatever.
Yeah, and they may or may not have something to do with the Harrison
Well,
Ford
I
film
hope,
Witness.
I hope. No, that was Amish.
I
Wasn't
know
it?
it was the Amish. I'm
Just
just
you're
making
just bundling them all together.
I'm just making a little joke.
Amish, Jehovah's Witnesses, Heaven's Gate, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It's all the same.
If you were Amish, what would your drink of choice be?
I think it would-
water or water.
I think it would be nice, warm water.
Good choice.
there
Crystal
you go.
water. That was big in the 90s
It
Amish
was.
community.
And it still is
It
big
still
today.
is. And diet crystal water.
It's true. That's just a half a glass of water.
Their Dunkaroos is just their butter churn. They just
That's true.
dunk
They
the
just-
churn in
they
the
just
butter.
Dunk the churn.
Yeah, no, that's very sad about China. Very sad about
sad
Prince.
day.
Yeah. Now, here's one thing I want to bring up, I guess, since we've got a few minutes left.
Sure.
So I keep seeing all these people going, 2016 sucks. All these famous people are dying. I don't
Right.
think people quite realize that every year we get 2 or 3 big ones.
Yeah, well,
maybe
also
they're a little
everybody
front-loaded.
dies.
The other big thing that we're just going to have to get used to is now the 18 to 49 demo that people
Right.
listen to and pay attention to, and
Yeah.
also are on Twitter and Facebook, which makes this stuff louder than it
Nerds
used to be.
with podcasts. Yep.
The people that we grew up with and are more personally attached to are going to start dying.
Right.
There's always 2 or 3 big celebrities that die every year. We just didn't give a shit. Our parents did. Like, oh no, not Rod Stewart, not Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart's alive.
Who's the Twilight
Rod
Zone?
Serling?
Rod Serling.
I was
It would
upset
be
when
great
Rod
if
Serling
Stewart-
died.
If Rod Stewart did Twilight Zone, it's like imagine, if you will.
Oh, Maggie, you're in the Twilight Zone.
Little Maggie lost. No, it's just, we're going to start losing more and more people that were big and iconic to us. Like when Elvis dying was a
Chuck
huge
Norris
thing.
is going to die.
Chuck Norris is going to die. Tom Hanks is going to die one day.
Oh.
Like hopefully
you
not
went
for a
right
while.
there. You went right to it,
but
Jack.
it's going to be sad.
You pierced me in the heart.
Tom Hanks is going to die, and maybe not our kids, but our grandkids or the generation and a half before and after our kids are going to be like, it sucks. Yeah, whatever. All right, Tom Hanks, whatever. That guy from that movie, yeah, okay.
That's generally how we were about like Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was like the guy from the Single Guy.
I'm a big Ernest Borgnine fan, but you're the legendary actors like Rock Hudson or something. We were like, all right, Rock Hudson's dead. Even when Frank Sinatra died, I was just like, wow, that's a big deal. But I wasn't like, oh my god. And it's and it's a twofer. It's a 1-2 punch. It's going to be more personal to us. And even when Frank Sinatra died, they didn't have Facebook and Twitter to fucking just like an echo chamber of. It's almost like people are competing to see who tells you first. So I sit in the front lobby of where I work, and I watched for an hour and a half as everybody would try to tell somebody that Prince died. Like, hey, Prince died, and hey, did you hear? Prince died. Like they would just
people want to be like
they want to be the one that tells you.
Yeah, as if that's a weird. We're running out of time.
Yeah.
But there's a weird I think it's a social media thing where it's like you always have to be the one to reveal the news, or you have to talk about how it affected you personally, like putting out weird mini-sodes of your podcast and talk about someone you have no connection with.
Well,
we're a weird culture.
We have no connection to him, but the 90s do have a huge connection. Even though he's an 80s icon, again, the artist formerly known as was a big deal. It's also interesting that he did come back around to the Prince, which I always thought was cool.
Right.
I was always, again, it's that combination of like pretentious artist and just down-to-earth guy.
Right, and Hey Jack is one of his most famous songs, 1999.
Yeah.
There you go. That was the year in the 90s. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, I hope we're all party like it's 1999 now, because he was alive in 1999. China was alive in 1999.
That's true.
Michael and Farrah were alive in 1999. 1999 was a good year. It
was a great year.
My grandpa was already dead. Both my grandpas.
Yeah, both of mine too.
But besides them,
we're gonna
Tom
party.
Hanks and Chuck Norris were alive.
We're gonna party like it's 1999 in Prince's honor. Tonight.
My name is Jack.
My name is Dan.
We'll see you in another decade. But Prince, Michael,
Prince will not.
Farrah, China, our grandpas.
Prince China died? The Prince of China is dead?